single day. I'm gonna make.
Every general manager wants to draft the younger players in the draft because they're still pretty rough and have a lot of upsides, having the possibility of becoming the team's franchise player for over a decade. Obviously, some youngsters take a little longer before actually being able to make an impact on the court, but over the course of history, we've seen some vastly talented teenagers take the league for assault since the opening's night tip-off. Today, we're going to create a couple of all-teenager teams, featuring the teenage version of some players that made a name for themselves since their youth years en route to becoming NBA All-Stars. All-teenager first team. Point guard, Kyrie Irving. We didn't get to see much of Kyrie Irving during his Duke tenure due to injury, so naturally, entering the league as the first overall pick, there were a lot of doubts regarding his talents and durability. Nonetheless, Uncle Drew didn't take much time to prove his doubters wrong, scoring over 18 points to go along with 3.7 points, 5.4 dimes, and 1.1 steals per game back then in 2012 after just turning 19 years old. Shooting guard, Kobe Bryant. Well, we all know Kobe was kind of a late bloomer, as he struggled to get much run during his rookie season. Still, ever since number 8 became a consistent starter at age 19, he made sure everybody remembered the name of the young shooting guard with a sweet scoring touch and a short afro. Through his 19-year-old season, the 1998-98 campaign, Kobe would go on to average 15.4 points, 3.1 boards, 2.5 dimes, and 0.9 steals per game on 42% from the floor, but the best was still yet to come for him. Small forward, Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony entered the league with high praise after completely crushing all opposition at Syracuse, with the Denver Nuggets keen to become a steady playoff contender upon Melo's arrival as the team's go-to guy. Young Melo was incredibly explosive and athletic, and if you let him take the first step, you were likely to watch his braided hair go past you while he got an open dunk. Through his 19-year-old season, he put averages of 21 points and 6.1 boards on 42% from the floor. Power forward, LeBron James. LeBron James was the prime example of an NBA-ready young man that was poised for stardom, completely dominating the league ever since setting one foot on an NBA hardwood back in 2003. During his very first NBA season, James made history with his averages of 20.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.6 steals and 0.7 blocks per game on 41% from the floor, proving everybody that a new era was upon us. Center, Dwight Howard. Considering how much of a dominant beast Dwight Howard was in the early going, we kind of believe that his career actually never took off despite being considered to be the second coming of Shaq. Throughout the 2004-05 campaign, a 19-year-old Dwight Howard was already an elite big man down low, posting season averages of 12 points and 10 rebounds to go along with 1.7 blocks on 52% shooting. All-teenager second team. Point guard, Stephon Marbury. Stephon Marbury seemed poised for stardom and to have a Hall of Famer kind of career, but his attitude issues and inconsistency made his career took a major downfall despite his offensive skill set. Still, during his 19-year-old season, the 1996-97 campaign, he was a major stud out of the gate, posting averages of 15.8 points, 2.7 rebounds, 7.8 helpers and 1 steal per game on 43% from the floor. Shooting guard, Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins entered the league as one of the most overhyped young men in the history of the draft, and even though he's failed to live up to that expectations, he's had a very solid career so far. Throughout his 19-year-old season, the young Canadian had averages of 16.9 points, 4.6 rebounds, 2.1 assists and 1 steal per game, and it feels like he's kind of stalled due to Towns and Butler's presence. Small forward, Kevin Durant. The young Kevin Durant had a lot of doubters when he first entered the league, mostly because he was so freakingly skinny and looked so fragile and weak that people thought he would struggle to get past stronger defenders and would never become a good defender of his own either. Needless to say, Durant proved that all this mumbo-jumbo was flat-out nonsense since day one, recording averages of 20.3 points, 4.4 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1 steal and 0.9 blocks a game at just 19 years old. Power forward, Chris Bosh. People tend to forget how much of a beast Chris Bosh was during his Toronto Raptors tenure, as he was even considered to be the greatest player in Raptors history before DeMar DeRozan's surge. Bosh was a monster out of the gate with his scoring and rebounding ability as well as his capacity of spreading the offense with his sweet stroke from distance, posting season averages of 11.5 points, 7.4 rebounds and 1 assist per game during his rookie season. Center, Anthony Davis. There's never been any kind of doubt regarding Anthony Davis' skill set, talent, or ceiling, as he's already by far one of the most complete and gifted big men this game has ever seen, with his lone liability being his durability and proneness to get hurt. AD has never backed down since he first entered the league, as you can see from his 19-year-old season, where he averaged 13.5 points, 8.2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1.2 steals and 1.8 blocks per game with an amazing 51% FG.